jump in. So welcome everyone to the year in review. This year has gone by so fast, and there was so much fun and exciting stuff happening at MaintainX. So many things driven by customers. So we are very happy to have you joining us here today. Um, let's get started with, the classic, some housekeeping items. First of all, yes, this webinar is being recorded and we'll be sending it out to you later today. Feel free to submit questions in the Q&A panel if you have them throughout. That's the best place so our team can make sure to not miss anything in the chat. We do have a few MaintainX folks here to help with the chat, so you can ask questions there too. But the Q&A panel is great for questions that you definitely want us panelists to see. And moving forward, I want to introduce first myself. I'm Doug, the Director of Product Marketing here at MaintainX, but my other co-hosts as well. I'll pass it over to Will first to introduce himself.
Hey everybody, Will Lehrman. I lead product here at MaintainX. And yeah, I've spent my career working in technology and recently joined the company here. And prior to coming to MaintainX, I spent 12 years working for a construction software company called Procore. And what gets me really excited is I spent a lot of my career helping build solutions for folks that are building the physical world, and now I'm working on building solutions for folks that are keeping the physical world running. So that gives me a lot of purpose in my job. And one thing about me that's really important is customer centricity. I think that all the knowledge, all the insights, and everything that's going to help drive our strategy and our roadmap and where we take this product in the future is not in the building, it's out there with our customers. And so spending lots of time with our customer and learning as much as I possibly can about how we can improve the product and improve your lives.
I'll pass it over to Ozella next.
Thanks, Doug. Hi, everyone. My name is Ozella Bowman. I'm one of our senior solutions consultants here at MaintainX. I've been with MaintainX for about 3 years going on now, and I've been working with enterprise companies in the SaaS space for almost 10 years. Really, I spend my days and weeks really talking to you all. Right? I probably know a good chunk of you that are joining the call today, spending time sharing the product with you, understanding your day-to-day challenges, how you're working through your operations and supporting you with digitizing that in MaintainX. So really looking forward to kind of sharing more today about where we've come and where we're going.
Thank you, Ozella. And as I mentioned, I'm Doug. I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at MaintainX. I've been at MaintainX for over 2 years, maybe closer to 2.5, and very excited to be your host and to kick off this webinar for real. Before we do, I would love to actually get some information from the folks joining us today. In the chat, I'd love to hear more about your biggest priority going into 2026. We've heard a lot of things from customers over the years around improving how they collect data, how they plan maintenance, how they empower their front line. But I'm actually curious from the group here, what are you all interested in learning about? So I will take a few minutes to look at the chat. Anyone have any things that they've been looking to learn from MaintainX? We've got the SVP of product here. We've got Ozella, who's worked with hundreds of customers. We've got someone looking for more improved work order views, calendar workloads. So kind of planning, maintenance, managing that, looking for something around GPS integrations. There's a lot we're doing from the enterprise asset management perspective here. It's great. FedRAMP, work order planning, automated meters. Yes, now we're shaking the dust off. We're getting a little less shy. We're going to ask you to do this one more in the presentation today. So expect to participate. Quotes, executive reporting, meters, a lot of great stuff here. And I'm happy to say that a lot of it's going to be covered. While we can't cover everything today, we are very excited on what we're going to chat through. Okay. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for giving us a little bit more context about what you're interested in learning about. What we plan to cover today is really company updates. We'll do a quick session a section on how we've grown and where we're investing. We'll talk a little bit about our product vision, which will take us through, and some of our product highlights throughout the year. And we're also going to give you a sneak peek at the 2026 roadmap, what's coming ahead, which is always exciting. Okay, so let's jump right into company updates. Uh, Wanted to highlight a few milestones that we are really proud of. And it's really thanks to all of you, all of our customers who have stayed with us, our customers who have joined in the past year. We've had a really incredible year of growth. We've added 3,000 new customers, 200,000 new users, and along with 5 million new assets added and managed on the platform, which means you all have been busy, and we are really, really happy to see it. And this customer growth, the work that you've all entrusted to us, really gives us the opportunity to invest more in R&D and your personal experience with the platform, making sure that we have product that meets your needs and that we're pushing boundaries in really useful ways with things like AI and how we're implementing it on the platform. It also means we can invest more in employees to deliver top quality service and experience to you. So whether that's maybe a salesperson that you're working with, your account manager, a CSM, but also in terms of kind of always on and universally available resources like our community, help center, and the hours and hours of customer education content that we make available as well. Numbers on the slide are one thing, but what is really exciting to me is this was our busiest year ever. The trust that you've put in us has allowed us to really accelerate our growth. And this growth is really compounding in a way that's super exciting because we are building a fully featured enterprise-ready platform, but still with the MaintainX usability, mobile first, supporting the frontline mindset. And so with that, I'm really excited to tee up Will to talk a little bit about his vision and the MaintainX vision for the product.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. And one thing I'd say, it was great to see a lot of the comments that we got when we threw that question up there, because a lot of that work's actually in progress or being planned. So I don't know if we're going to talk about all of it today because we had a limited time on this webinar, but gets me excited to see that we have a lot of alignment with our customers and where they're hoping to see the product go. So yeah, I want to start kind of high level here and just provide a little bit of context for what we're hearing out there in the market from the industry, and some of the big investments that we're going to be making. And so I'll start here because, listen, in addition to the most important thing, which is spending time with our customers and learning what you all are interested in us solving and investing in, it's also important for us to understand where the industry is going and what sort of trends we're seeing. And so these are some that I wanted to share with the group because I think they're pretty impactful and they are informing where we spend some of our time as an organization. And so one is that we're continuing to see labor shortage be something that we think is going to impact this industry and continue to impact this industry. And it's for all the right reasons, right? Lots of folks who have worked their butts off throughout their careers are moving closer to retirement. And there's a couple of challenges that come with that. So one is that there's less individuals actually in the workforce, and so we need to make sure we bring kind of the next age of employees into the workforce. And that's great, but it is going to be an impact to everybody, and not just because of the human capacity, but also because of the really rich institutional knowledge that those folks have. And so what we're trying to do here at MaintainX is find ways to both make our customers more efficient, but also be able to capture and infuse a lot of that institutional knowledge into our platform so that some of your newer hires can leverage that as they're ramping up and becoming experts in the industry. Another one I want to share is that we still continue to see efficiency challenges in the industry as a whole. And technicians, for instance, lots of research stating that, sometimes on average, 60% of their time is spent on paperwork, researching, and lots of other tasks that aren't actual wrench work. And so we want to find ways that we can help reduce that amount of time that is not spent on the actual technical work and make folks more efficient. And so that's a huge focus for us because we're seeing that trend in the industry. Another one is that, one that really personally excites me is that there's actually a lot of expectation from our customers, from the industry, that they're going to be adopting AI-driven maintenance at scale really, really soon. And so this is a trend that has just skyrocketed across many industries, but it's exciting to see it in this industry because I actually think when you look at what we're all doing every single day, there is a massive amount of really rich, powerful data and lots of opportunities for automation and to create more efficiencies for the individuals in the industry. And so we want to tap into that. And it seems like the market is ready for that and excited about that. And the last thing I'd say is, I think a lot of customers that we talk to in the industry and what we're seeing is huge expectations around connected data, right? And that's both coming from the machines themselves, but also across your tech stack, whether it's your ERP systems or other integrations that are really critical to connect workflows and connect data, because data is becoming more and more important, and streamlining and making these workflows more efficient is becoming more and more important. So these are some of the trends that we're investing in as a company. Awesome. And so when we think about our product vision here, I'll read it to you all, but then I'll give a little bit of quick commentary on top of it. But we want to transform maintenance and operations with AI-driven intelligence that empowers the industrial workforce to keep the physical world running. And the vision's important for us because at the end of the day, we are all here at MaintainX to serve you and to help you keep the physical world running. But we think that there are some ways that we can do that that will really, both transform the industry, transform how we work, and make everybody in the industry more efficient. And so, one thing that's very important to us is technician-loved usability. At the end of the day, we want to empower the folks that are on the front line to have best-in-class tools that are absolutely delightful and intuitive to use every single day. Because without that, we'll lose that ability to really empower the folks that are keeping the physical world running, and also to give them the tools they need to collect all the critical data that can continue to empower, that improvements over time. The next one is that MaintainX strives to be that intelligent system of record, both for capturing all the critical information that you need as a company, but maybe even more importantly is that system of action. We want to make sure that we can drive efficiency with your teams, give them the knowledge and the tools and the information that they need to get their jobs done faster, better, safer. And so for us, we want to be both that intelligent system of record and action, and something that you absolutely rely on every single day as that trusted assistant to help you get your work done. And then for us, we get so excited because these things compound over time. And so the more intelligence that we can help connect directly out of the machines that you're working on, and then all of the knowledge and that rich work history that your teams have poured into our platform, we want to make sure that you have access to that so that you can use all that knowledge, and it'll compound over time and allow you to make even smarter decisions, faster decisions, and safer decisions as you continue to work. So that's what we think about from a product vision standpoint, and hopefully you see a lot of the investments we're making kind of connect back up to this as we talk through the rest of it today. Awesome. So these are some of the big investments we're making. It is definitely not an exhaustive list. There's a lot more that we're doing, but I wanted to highlight some of the really big areas of investment for us and where we're spending a lot of our time on the R&D side. One, absolutely working smarter with AI, right? And for us, at the end of the day, when we think about AI, it's all about solving the right problems for our customers and making their lives easier. How can we take tasks that are monotonous, repetitive, and reduce the workload on your teams? How can we bring intelligence and knowledge at the right moment in time to your team so they can make faster decisions and not have to pour through massive manuals or paperwork to try to find the information, or ask questions to peers and colleagues to try to find the answer? We want that right at their fingertips when they need it. So just-in-time intelligence so they can get their job done. And so when we think about the problems we solve with AI, it's just a technology, it's just a tool, and we're using it to help make your lives easier and to help solve problems for your teams. The second one is unlocking asset intelligence. And so we want to make sure that our platform knows the condition of all the critical assets in real time, and that we can also anticipate the issues and help you take proactive action on them. And so that means pulling data directly off of the machines that you're maintaining and supporting, and then making sure that you have access to those insights, those alerts, that knowledge, so you can take action far before it becomes a reactive problem. Definitely supporting enterprise scale. We have lots of customers running multiple sites, large teams, and we want to make sure that you can handle that scale efficiently and with the right tools that you need. And so lots of investments going into that part of our platform. I mentioned this earlier, one of the trends that we're seeing and one of the needs from our market, but definitely making sure that MaintainX can be that central platform that you can integrate to. So whether that's, again, your OT systems or your IT systems, your ERPs. We want to make sure that we can be a hub that can help you connect these business processes, these workflows, and connect that data seamlessly so you can get your job done faster and have a central repository of all the critical data that you need. And the last one here is scaling with confidence. Whether this means getting your first site up and running, getting new team members up and running quickly, we know how important it is to not be stuck training, trying to figure out adoption, trying to make sure that your teams know how to use the product. So having really, really intuitive, easy to use products that are easy to onboard, easy to roll out to multiple sites, and to create that centralized management that you need so that you can scale your business efficiently and not have to worry about technology in the background. So these are just some of the big areas of investment for us. A lot more that we're doing, but wanted to share some of those to create some context for the rest of the conversation today. Awesome. Well, I'm going to pass it over to Azella to talk about some of the cool stuff that we've been building recently.
Thanks, Will. Yeah, so that was a lot that Will just shared in terms of the vision, right? And where we're going, but it's important to ground ourselves in what we have delivered in 2025, and it was definitely a breakthrough year for MaintainX, and everything that he's described comes to life through what you all, right, what our customers are doing every day. So I'm going to walk us through some of the product highlights that have brought that vision to life across machine health monitoring, modern maintenance management, and intelligent maintenance, starting with machine health monitoring. Now, in the conversations, again, hundreds of conversations that I've had with all of you, machine health means different things to different users and can have a variety of definitions depending on the context of that machinery, right? But reliability is a common anchor, and it's what all of our clients need out of their machines at the end of the day. So what we're doing is we're guiding our clients into a world where reliability is not reactive, right? It is proactive. We're going to use data to move from reactive to proactive maintenance. And as Will has alluded to, right, operational technology, OT integrations is a big piece of that. And in 2025, we expanded our OT integration capabilities to pull machine level signals from PLCs, SCADA systems, and industrial gateways directly into MaintainX. We want to make sure that those SCADA alerts actually reach the people who are fixing the problems, right? Customers are going to be able to unify their OT with their maintenance workflows. That was a huge piece of what 2025 was about. Teams are able to see the problems before they become failures. That is the direction that we're going. And those data sources now are unlocked, right? We're giving you more flexible ingestion paths, making asset maintenance decisions that much more reliable, and getting our clients closer to a single ecosystem where operators, maintenance teams, reliability teams can all see the same truth in real time. For example, right, I've spoken with clients that are overwhelmed by SCADA alarms. And few of those alarms are making it out of the control room to action. With MaintainX, the change there becomes that, instead of asking, why didn't we know about this? What happened? It's more about having a reliable handoff pattern, right, between operations and maintenance. And one of our biggest advancements has been in vibration monitoring. If you take that a step further, right? And we're enabling teams to be able to track real-time condition indicators, right? So in one world, you have operational technology we've already discussed, but then we also want to be able to take the condition of the equipment from those automated alerts to early signs of wear and triggering, again, that corrective work before the downtime hits. And these are all steps toward fully automated condition-based maintenance. I think that's another common aspiration that I've heard from a lot of you in our conversations. What we're doing and what we've done this year, right, is start mapping those sensor thresholds to automated workflows in MaintainX. So when your vibration crosses an acceptable limit, MaintainX will intelligently escalate that issue before it becomes a critical event, right? For example, imagine a machine is running in a high-speed packaging line, and a single unplanned bearing failure will shut the plant down for 6+ hours, right? 6 hours could be 16 hours. And in MaintainX, what we're doing is setting thresholds for RMS velocity, acceleration, and when that bearing starts to shift and the SCADA boundary is crossed, MaintainX will automatically create a work order with the exact sensor reading attached to it. And the tech or team that's assigned to that work order is able to inspect the assembly and replace the bearing, right? We're avoiding what could have been a several-hour outage. So, what does all of this mean, right? Um, how is MaintainX making that data actionable? We're taking alerts and condition warnings and turning them into action. Data is only valuable if it drives action. We don't want to just collect data for data's sake, right? Many teams already have threshold-based data living in their SCADA systems or PLC systems. Things like temperature exceeds 200 degrees, pressure is below tolerance, recurrent fault codes, things like that. We're looking out for those indicators, but the problem is the same. The alert happens in SCADA, but the work is happening somewhere else. And MaintainX is entering to bridge those islands, if you will. Now, once we have normalized those asset signals and bring everything into a single MaintainX dashboard, we're surfacing insights that teams typically will get a feeling about. I'm actually here at the IMC conference this week, and I've had so many conversations again with some of you, where you have team members who have a feeling about something, and it helps to have that real-time trend data that's backing up the feelings that our more seasoned technicians might already have. And teams are able to be empowered to identify those anomalies early, not based on a hunch, but based on real data, real information, machine history, right? The history and the availability now all live in one system, making it easier and faster to produce those reliability reports and support those replacement decisions. Now, once those insights are surfaced, they're feeding directly into workflows, right? Recommended actions, automated tasks, guiding teams on what to do next. So there's fewer surprises, there's more uptime. And 2025 was really all about closing the loop and making that siloed, bound, or tied up data more actionable. So our customers are able to reduce the volume of manual triage that needs to be done, eliminate errors with transcription, make sure that techs are working on the right issues, the more important issues at the right time based on the right data, right? And that level of development is the difference between a $200 repair and a $20,000 or $200,000 downtime, right? And the natural next step is really understanding how all of these insights tie into the broader asset ecosystem And that brings us to modern asset management.
Thank you so much, Ozella. So the next big area of investment that we put into place in 2025 was all around improving how you manage assets on the MaintainX platform. As Ozella mentioned, with more and more data coming in, there's also more opportunity to optimize what you're already doing on the MaintainX platform. But it is also a lot to manage and make sense of. What we're building here is really focused on making maintenance and asset management usable for the front line, but also powerful enough to support the global leaders that may occasionally sit in a back office. So, as teams grow across different sites, one of the biggest challenges we hear is really consistency and standardization across different sites. Different plants may run things in different ways, different procedures are used, different parts lists are maintained. Perhaps there's even different naming structures for assets, parts, which really makes tracking assets and comparing and contrasting performance across sites or plants really difficult. When everything from just the most routine maintenance is conducted in slightly different ways. That also makes training harder, reporting harder, and coordination really, really impossible. In 2025, we released a number of global features that really help fix that and advance how enterprises can run on MaintainX. So, with global assets, parts, procedures, and reporting, you really can standardize the way your entire organization works. Everyone pulling from the same playbook and being able to access the same shared insight, shared information across the organization. Parts are tracked in the same way and can be shared across locations. Assets are visible, can be transferred to different locations easily. Procedures can be set at the corporate level and go down to each different site, making it easy to maintain accurate procedures and push updates. If, say, you get a note from the OEM saying, oh, we slightly tweaked this procedure step in the manual we sent you, no problem. You can actually get that out to the field immediately. And for leaders, you get a bird's eye view of what's going on across all the facilities that you have plugged into MaintainX. You can see overall performance, or you can dig in and to compare and contrast a number of different sites to try to figure out why one might be slightly more successful than another. This is a lot of data that we're bringing in, making accessible to you, and allowing you to make some really helpful inferences and changes based on. But Ozella is going to talk about two other really interesting and new ways that we're kind of bringing data a little bit more closely to you.
Thanks, Doug. So I gave an example earlier about a bearing, right? And that's one that comes up quite a bit. Um, the next question that we'd want to ask ourselves, right, is why was it shifting, right? Why was the bearing shifting? Why is the vibration out of the acceptable range? What caused that to happen? This year, we also launched root cause analysis, and it's currently in beta. This functionality is going to allow our customers to dig deeper into the system and make sense of what's happening. Clients have historically tried to do root cause analysis in a variety of different ways through filters, tags, corrective actions, and we're elevating the tools that we're giving customers to be able to analyze causes and reasons, right? Vibration and conditions give us quantitative certainty, but there are some observed or experienced causes that we also want to capture, right? There's additional context that we want to capture and dig into. And these are events that we might not immediately quantify, like replace a gear, continuous overload, lubrication, missed lubrication, right? And we want to trend that. Root cause analysis is going to help maintenance and reliability teams to streamline their ability to reduce mean time to repair and get the asset back online. We're supplementing the OEM manuals and less experienced technicians and giving them more guided instructions and guiding that thought path to analysis so that teams can start to answer questions like, what are the most common problems, right? We have our offline reasons, but let's go a step further. What did we do to resolve that? Does the asset need to be repaired, or does it need to be replaced, or do we need to do additional training? Um, we can use more data to determine if the failures are in fact manageable or too complex. Root cause analysis supports that. Now, as we've been talking about data and the ability to um, capture more analytics, it's pretty clear that we have invested heavily in making data clearer, right? And in allowing our users the flexibility to access KPIs that matter to them. Our latest development in analytics is the enhanced report builder that we see here. And it allows us to keep insights near the source, do more advanced analysis right within MaintainX, right? Not totally replacing all of our analytics or business intelligence tooling, but bringing us closer to it right within the system and expanding the insights that we are giving our users around parts transactions, labor utilization, making it easier to pull decision driving KPIs directly from the system and put it into the hands of your stakeholders. More intelligent insights to drive more intelligent maintenance practices, and these updates are really creating a foundation for a truly intelligent maintenance operation. To get more into that intelligent maintenance, I'm going to pass it back to Doug and Will to talk more about how this ties into our broader product motion.
Awesome. Thank you, Ozella. So yes, a big focus this year, as you all can probably tell, is making data usable for you all so you can start making sure maintenance is happening exactly when it needs to and no sooner, and a variety of other things. And I think a big focus there is actually making sure your frontline teams and your technicians actually can access that data in the time of need, which could be in the field, somewhere in a mine. There's a million different ways that we need to make sure that your technicians and your teams stay safe. Over the past year, we have seen and shipped a variety of new AI solutions and features across a variety of different use cases that our customers have been asking for. So you can see the whole lot of it here, features built to make it easier to get set up on the MaintainX platform, to research and identify issues, to do live troubleshooting when an issue occurs, and then also to report and analyze that data. Really with the goal of helping you inform a job, complete the job, report on the job in much more productive and efficient ways. The first and kind of big addition that we made to the platform this quarter, or this year, excuse me, it actually went into beta early the year before, but we've made some improvements this year, is the procedure generator. So we know that a lot of procedures today still live in old manuals, PDFs, or in someone's memory on your team. And that really makes it hard for new team members to learn, get up to speed. Will has mentioned that labor shortages, lack of skills are hurting manufacturers, hurting a number of folks with frontline teams. We want to make sure that we can give technicians, whether they're seasoned or new, access to the right information right in their moment of need. So really this feature allows you to take manuals or prompts, turn them into clean, digital standardized operating procedures in MaintainX that then allow us to kind of create helpful guidance for technicians in the field. The goal here really is simple. make it easier to capture knowledge, keep it organized, and make sure everyone can benefit from it. Another way that we're helping get more data to fuel AI and other things on our platform is getting notes directly from the source. So the people completing work orders, um, that feedback mechanism, which you can see here on the screen, really is collecting information from the technician on what happened, which then can be documented and shared with the next person that picks up a similar work order. So we can quickly understand what's going on and help the team prevent some repeat issues. But we know writing notes takes time if you're doing it by hand, and it's really easy to leave things out when you're rushing and you're moving to another critical piece of work. So what this feature does is really let you record details with voice notes. AI can take your raw input. We've had a number of customers comment that they've tried it with their southern draws and it worked just fine. You can also add a short text description, and it's really turned into a clear summary that's formatted, has good grammar, removes any curse words. I actually haven't tried that, so don't quote me on that. But really formats it in a way that it's usable for the rest of your team. So this saves time in the moment, but also provides an incredible source of data right where work is actually happening. And that data we just talked about from your manuals, historical work orders, notes from the fields, everything you feed into it is then used to empower your team anywhere and everywhere. For example, say if a technician sees an issue with an asset, Copilot can search asset manuals, pull from your knowledge base, and give them specific recommendations straight from either past work or from OEM provided recommendations in the manuals. This means really fewer delays, faster troubleshooting, and more confidence for both new and experienced team members that might be experiencing a failure or a failure code or something that they've never experienced before. And last but not least, we have all that insight. We've delivered Copilot that allows you to really pull insight from it. But we wanted to take it one step further and actually have our AI start surfacing some contextually relevant recommendations right in your flow of work. So we've talked a lot about connecting asset data, work history, machine health insights. So now we give technicians access to that in a proactive way. So based on where a user is in a work order, Copilot can now highlight common or expected questions that we think the technician might have. Say, for example, if they are hovering on a specific procedure step, we might ask a question or prompt them to say, hey, can you actually show me how to complete this feature step, which is what you're seeing in the GIF here. Um, so basically, to sum it up, really giving technicians access to this data that was at one time really buried or inaccessible to help them all be smarter, faster, more productive, safer, all the things that we want from our teammates on the front line. We just covered a lot. We're about to move on to the roadmap, which is very exciting. But I want to make sure you're all with us still. I would love to, again, in the chat, let me hear about what you're most excited about using. Have you learned about anything new that you're like, yes, I would love to use that? Or have you used something already and have felt, yeah, this is super cool? We'd love to hear it. As you put those in the chat, I also want to call out that we weren't able to cover all of the things we shipped in 2025 in this. As you saw in an earlier slide, we had over 100 releases. We picked some of the things that customers and we were most excited about. But let's see to the chat. Has anyone shared anything that they're excited about? Not much. So we'll continue on to the roadmap, which I know you've all been waiting for. Auto suggestions born Copilot. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, William. Appreciate it. Let's pass it over to Will to talk about some of what's coming up next.
Awesome. Thanks, Doug. And I We're doing a lot. We've really increased the team size and we're continuing to hire like crazy. So we have a massive R&D org now. So we're going to be putting a ton of investment into the platform going forward. And to continue with the theme Doug just covered, that's where I'm going to spend my time focused on doing a highlight into our roadmap. But I did want to call out a few things because I saw these in the chat earlier, and I just think it's important to kind of note for y'all some of the areas we are investing. So I saw improved work scheduling. That's something that our teams are working on. I saw improved parts management. That's something our teams are working on as we go into 2026. Support for FedRAMP. That's something that we're working on. Permit to work capabilities. So, yeah, again, just overjoyed to see a lot of the comments made earlier that are absolutely on our roadmap and things we're actively working on, but are not in this presentation. So I figured I'd go off script and take a moment to just share the alignment there and to give some update there as well. Cool. So let's dive in. Doug, can go to the next slide there. Thank you. Yeah. And I just want to remind everybody, I know we covered this a little bit, but I think it's really important to put a fine point on this and why we're investing so much in creating automation, creating efficiency for your teams. So, these are just some of the real stats, right? So 3.8 million vacant jobs that need to be filled in manufacturing alone. And a lot of these coming from retirement. So again, congratulations on a career well spent. But it's really important that we help fill this gap with better efficiencies in the industry and hopefully with our platform, but also that we empower the new employees that are joining the industry with the intelligence and the automation and the support that they need to get up and running effectively into the role. And then the other one is that so much is happening so quickly with technology and specifically around AI. And so what we're starting to see is a lot more openness and willingness to dive in. And in some cases, a lot of pressure from customers to push even harder to make sure that we're giving best in class technology tools to our customers so they can be more efficient. And so we're leaning into that trend that we're seeing across both the tech industry and frankly, all industries, so that we can be the most transformative platform, the most efficient platform that you could possibly use to get your job done. So that's where I'm going to spend a little bit of time showcasing a small snapshot of our roadmap for next year, but it really is a tiny snapshot. So the first one here, asset package generator. And I'm going to go in a kind of sequential flow here. And I think it's really important because for us, we want to make sure we're supporting our customers at every step of the journey. And so right out of the gate, we want to help make sure that as you're onboarding to our platform, as you're bringing new sites online, as you're bringing new assets online, we can make that as seamless and as efficient as possible and build that intelligence out of the gate. And so we built something, our asset package generator, that we're going to continue to improve and roll out to more of our customers, that allows you to come in and just give us the manufacturer model number, or you can give us the PDF of the actual manual that's associated with that, and we can start to build out your asset package. That means we can build out work order templates, recommended procedures that you should be running for these particular assets, full parts inventories that are related to these assets. And so we can do all that work automatically for you. So as you put this information, as you put these assets into our system, we can build these entire plans and inventory lists for you, which saves so much time and really sets you up for success as you start to scale the maintenance of these assets. Cool. Next slide, please. And then Doug mentioned this earlier, our procedure generator, really delightful solution. And we can help you generate these procedures based on best practices from the manual, from the industry. And what we're doing now is actually, while you're building your work orders, we are dynamically recommending the right procedures that you should include in that particular work order. And so this is something we're continuing to refine on, and we're going to be building out into next year. But we're going to be doing two things. One is automatically building these procedures for you in real time as you give us more information in the description, the title, and all the information we can find about that particular work order. But then also looking through your templates of procedures, and so that we can actually pull from some of your best practice procedures that you like to use and do that matching for you, just making it so much faster, easier for you to follow the best practices and make sure that these procedures are attached to your work orders and that your teams are following the right steps. Again, super important, right, for new folks who are joining your team who may not have the experience and knowledge to know to add these procedures, and also saving you time when you do know what to do, but you want to go in and quickly create these procedures. We can actually do that creation step for you. And then you can, of course, always edit them if you want to make any changes. So pretty powerful feature there. Excited about that. Next one here. Great. This one's so exciting. You You really have to see it to believe it, and it's one of the things that we love demoing the early version for our customers now. But it's really delightful. And so essentially, when you are going in to create a work order request, right? There's an issue, something's gone wrong. You need to create a work order request and hopefully get some support to triage on that issue. Sometimes it can be painful to go through and manually fill out all the information that you need. You're not even quite sure what information you should be looking for. And so we've created intelligence here where all you have to do is start a conversation with MaintainX, and we will actually ask the person on the other end, your employee, exactly what we need to know to create that work order request. And so we're going to ask them live voice questions back and forth. You essentially have a conversation with MaintainX, and at the end of that conversation, we generate that work order request for you. You can, of course, make any edits that you need to, but we do all the heavy lifting and make sure that we're asking all the relevant questions so that we can get it triaged, assigned to the right person, and all the relevant information filled out so that you can take action on it appropriately. Really, really awesome feature, and a lot better when you can demo it live and showcase that awesome conversational experience that it creates. And the last one here I wanted to share, or sorry, two more here I wanted to share. So work order brief. And so when you're actually jumping into a work order, there's so much information to consume, right? There could be multiple steps that have already been taken. It could be open for quite some time. You could have past work order notes. And so what we wanted to do was make it really, really easy to summarize all of the critical information about that work order and start to recommend next steps. So when somebody opens up that work order, all they need to do is click one button. And if it's already been summarized by us before, they can just come in and consume that brief. And so we're doing all the work to organize that, bring all the relevant critical information front and center for your technicians to consume, and then giving them those recommended next steps so they can take action faster. So no more having to look around for the information, put those pieces together. We'll do that work for you. Next slide there, Doug. Awesome. And then once you're performing lots of awesome work and you're starting to build insights and analysis, we want to make it really, really easy for you to go and build out the right reports, the right dashboards. And if you've ever used custom reporting engines, they're awesome, right? They're flexible. You can do so much with them. That's great. And so for us, we love that we can now support our customers with our custom reporting engine. That said, we know it'd be even easier if all you had to do is describe to us what you're looking for, and we can actually build that for you. And that's what we now have with Copilot for reporting. And so you can come in and provide us with natural language questions that you're trying to answer, reports that you're trying to build. And our AI is going to go in and actually build out that custom report or dashboard for you. You can, of course, go in, make any edits that you need, make any recommendations for how we can improve it. But it's an incredible starting point for anybody who wants to go in and quickly start to get answers and may not have as much experience digging into custom reporting engines and knowing exactly what right fields to build. We will do all that for you with Copilot reporting. So I wanted to walk you through kind of a sequential journey there of how we're trying to create efficiency, automation, and bring intelligence to some of these steps in your process. But it truly is scratching the surface of all the incredible features that we're adding, all the new value that we're adding. And we're, of course, going to continue to talk to our customers incessantly over the next 12 months and make sure that we're not missing anything and that we're prioritizing the most important things we can possibly be investing in for this market and for our great customers. So thanks for listening as I walk through some of that.
I'm fired up by all of those product investments. It is just plain cool and so powerful what these tools can do. Excuse me. Before we move on to questions from the audience, I just wanted to do a few quick announcements and reminders. In other places where you can go to engage and learn with MaintainX, we have our academy, which is kind of at your own pace learning. We have the MaintainX community, which you can learn from your peers, ask questions through a variety of discussion boards. And you can also always fill out a demo request form or reach out to your AM or your account team to speak with someone on Will's team or someone on the product marketing team about what else is coming up on our roadmap and what else might be a great fit for your organization. But with that, I'm going to ask Ozella and Will to come back to the stage, and we will start taking some audience questions if any came in. So reminder, for the audience members, if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A chat. and give me just a quick moment to kind of look through some of the questions and pick some. Okay, so one question that I think comes up, and I'm not gonna lie, I've had this question in the past. I'll pass this to Will. How has AI development gone so fast at companies like MaintainX? It seems like at the beginning of this year, we were just unveiling Copilot. It was very cool. It did a wide variety of things. Looking to 2026, I'm like, oh my gosh, how is this moving so fast?
Yeah. Yeah, probably a better question for my engineering partners because they're the magicians that do all the heavy lifting. No, but I'll give a quick answer here. I mean, I think two things. One is we're in a really incredible technology transformation across all industries. I mean, it's just true. We're able to do things a lot faster. We're able to build solutions a lot faster, and the technology is incredibly powerful. I think something though that grounds me and allows us to move really quickly is that at the end of the day, it's still about solving problems for customers. And if you really break down anywhere that we're trying to apply investments, whether that's just kind of normal kind of run your course, solve problems for our customers, build new features, or applying AI technology, it's all boils down to the same thing, which is what are the most important problems our customers need solved? What are the workflows that they're trying to complete? What are the outcomes that they're trying to achieve? And how can we best support those? And I think that really helps you prioritize and narrow down, right? So we can go from flashy AI buzz to actual powerful solutions that solve problems and stand the test of time. And so I think our ability to deliver solutions that kind of make it all the way to general availability and high adoption from our customers has been pretty stellar, and I expect it to continue to be really stellar because again, it's all grounded in, hey, what problems do our customers need solved, and how can we most effectively and easily solve those problems for our customers. And so that's what's allowed us to move really quickly. But also the technology's, pretty incredible and yeah, has unlocked some real efficiencies for us as technologists and developers.
Awesome. And Will, I think I've heard you or someone else on your team say this, but I always think it's a great thing that we root ourselves in is we always strive to make AI useful and not novel, right? There's a million flashy things that we could do with AI. Most of them aren't going to be useful for you. We prioritize the useful things that are going to make your life better, make you feel smarter, make you feel more productive, make you have to do less of the admin work. That really drains your time. Next question is really for Ozella, which is, you've mentioned talking to hundreds of customers over a wide variety of industries. What would you say is kind of the biggest shift you've seen in those companies from the beginning of the year to now in terms of the questions they're asking, especially in light of all the AI advancements that we've seen in the world?
Yeah, and from the AI perspective, I think the thing that customers get most excited about is Copilot's ability to kind of surf through manuals, and then pull that data to generate procedures. I think the exciting part comes in when they start to realize that they can use it for more than just the manual, and seeing how much farther MaintainX Copilot can reach with spreadsheets, with internal documents, right? With anything that you associate with regulatory guides, things like that, that you associate directly to the machine. Um, Over the course of the year, clients have gone from being somewhat skeptical and uncertain of exactly how they might use it to just realistic ways to start employing asset intelligence right within the system. Right? It's not a scary thing, it's not a hard to reach thing, and it's not so complex and advanced that any technician or even entry level, right, tradesmen can start to use it to help them to do their jobs more efficiently. So I think, it's just making it that much more accessible, and I've started to notice that shift in perspective that AI is not a hard to reach, highly complex thing to use in as much as it is to build, right?
Awesome. Thank you for that. And with that, we are right at time. Will Ozella wanted to give you a big round of applause, say thank you for your time today and the presentation. Also, our customers, thank you for spending an hour with us talking about the roadmap and what we've built in 2025. It was such a great year. We really look forward to having another stellar year with you all. And to Mehdi and Moro, who are our support staff members that you might have had the pleasure of chatting with in the chat. Thank you for joining us as well and being here to support our customers. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.